Two teams on 12 points, both with 3 wins and 3 losses, and both looking now for 3 wins on the trot. And today, for the Sunshine Coast Lightning and the Giants at USC Stadium, it's a straight shootout for the last top 4 spot at the season's halfway point. This one always proves to be a classic. Last 5 encounters between these two sides haven't been decided by more than 6, and 2 of them were 1-goal thrillers, including an extra time match last time around. And the captain starts things off.
Goalkeeper obstruction, just inside.
This time Riley Batcheldor starts to gets her hands on one, and it wasn't clean, but the whistle saved her.
And you can see there, Steph Wood just gives Riley Batcheldor a pat on the back. That is really important. So she's only young, she's relatively inexperienced, so that chat, that confidence, that is so important for Riley Batcheldor.
Harton from mid, levels it up, and Batcheldor, there's just so much attention on her as well. No matter how level-headed you are, at some point, enough headlines and enough discussion at that age, or any age, is going to get inside your head.
And that's exactly the sign of a good player, is maturity at a young age, being able to put all that behind you and do exactly what she just did. Get on with the job, don't listen to all the other chat, and have that good level of confidence within your ability.
She had 8 from 9 last week, Batcheldor, in her time on court. Steph Wood 8 from 10. Karakonen 48 of 49. And that is a huge out for the Lightning. And the blue and yellow faithful are willing their team to have a good start in this one with the absence of the diamond shooter.
But Will, you said it. Sometimes when we see key players step out, it actually galvanises the team. They rise and lift another level because they know they've got so much to play for. So interesting, beautiful drive there, Laura Sherian. Such quick ball movement from this Lightning attack end early on.
McDonald, though, almost equal to the task in that one, getting a hand in there. Ball came back to Sherian. But we haven't seen, we talk about galvanising a team when they've had disruptions. I haven't seen that team last for 4 quarters in that.
Yeah.
Eventually they tend to get overcome by the pure loss of that player.
And that's what Lightning are good at. They're good at the first half, but they can fade in that second half. Whether that's a fitness thing, whether it's a mental thing, but we have seen in previous rounds, even with Karakonen on the court, they can fade a little.
Too long from Wood, the throwing to McDonald. 3-3, 2.5 gone in this round 7 clash as we near a few hours away from the halfway point of Suncorp Super Netball, if you can believe that. Last year we were only up to round 1 at this point. Wire long, 2 long balls to Harton now.
Goal defender, Viv, with me. With the goal defense, in line with me. Contact goal defender.
Well, again, just a few rebounds early on. The defenders should be onto those ones. Sophie Dwyer just regathered that nicely.
Finally, Dwyer sinks it, and the Giants go up by 1. Kira Tromp is on the sidelines. How are you seeing the opening minutes of this one?
Yeah, just seeing the Giants' defensive end are just doing a lot of jumping when they're doing their hands over, and the Lightning are able to get around as we see the centre pass go off here. I'd love to see them just stick on their players, work the hands, and then block their player. An easy entry there from the Lightning again. Just a bit more groundwork needed at the front.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Junior netball, that is one thing that you are taught, is to when you get hands over, great, jumping is a good alternative, but if you're doing it all the time, the attacker can actually get a run on you, which means really easy access into the circle. So great little pick up there from Kira.
Wood circle edge, looks back to reset through Hinchliffe. Batcheldor calling for it and gets it. Nice hold against McDonald, and nice finish too.
Well, Tilly McDonald, we talked about it earlier on. She came up against the best holding shooter in the league on Janelle Fowler last week. All of a sudden, she's on a player that's essentially, oh, what a pass, Sophie Dwyer.
uncharacteristic from Harton. Normally so solid from there. And great pick up from Hinchliffe, and that'll buoy her in that key matchup. No end. Instead, it's Wood who gets to level it up if she's successful, which she is. 6 goals apiece. The Harvey Norman replay. Lovely feed. Good take. Couldn't finish it.
Yeah, interesting, as you said. Oh, great little tip there from April Branley on the run. We saw a few missed shots under the post yesterday in the New South Wales Swift Queensland Firebirds game, and it's something that we're not used to seeing. So, again, opportunities for the shooters and defenders just to pull in those rebounds.
Wood, top of circle.
Contact, goal defence.
Hinchliffe, it still blows my mind that she's 9 months from an ACL.
Contact, goalkeeper.
Wasn't even due back until last week, and she's been playing the season.
Next to the keeper.
Well, as Kira mentioned in pre-game, we saw on social media during the week, she posted a little logbook or a diary of her journey. For any netballer that's been through an ACL injury, you know exactly what goes into getting back on court. Wow! Isn't she making her presence felt early on in this match?
Contact there forced the pass into Parmenta's hands, but great read from Tara Hinchliffe. Wood high to the pocket. Now the sister, Maddie Hinchliffe, has also played every game this season. Enjoying playing alongside her sister.
Well, they're a great story, Will. They played their junior netball, they're twins as we know. They played their junior netball at Brisbane Netball Association. They came through the Firebirds development program, but made the move up the Bruce this year. It's the first time that we've seen the players, Tara and Maddie, on court together. So a fantastic story, as you would expect. The twins, they are very close, very supportive of one another.
Oh. The no-look intercept there from Mahalia Cassidy.
Well, have a look at that transition down the court. It is fast.
Yes. Top of the circle, inside the circle. Step over. Yes.
Parmenta Price.
This doesn't seem like there's great flow at the moment. A few little errors, a few little turnovers. And again, we saw that yesterday, didn't we? So many turnovers, just so many silly little errors creeping into...
Wow! What timing! And Jo Hutton not having a good day so far. Last time she came up against Tara Hinchliffe, as we see the Harry Norman replay, it was Kate Walsh who just timed that perfectly.
That is so hard to do. Kate Walsh is an absolute magician at it.
Sometimes I think we see Shamira Sterling do it so often, and you almost forget how difficult it is to time properly. But incredible. And Hinchliffe, I was saying, had such a good game last time out against Harton. She was playing for the Firebirds, obviously, and kept Jo Harton to 20 goals at 69%, which is a very quiet day.
By Jo Harton's standards, it is, isn't it?
Absolutely it is, yeah. So obviously now in different colours, looking to do the same thing, and helped by Kate Walsh.
Just inside the circle.
7 goals apiece, halfway through the opening quarter. A spot in the top 4 beckoning for whichever side can do the job over the next 45 minutes or so.
Riley Bachador sitting at 100%. She's 5 from 5. We see there the last 10. The Giants have just been able to manage the last 3 on the run.
Lightning obstruction, wing defense. Lightning. Lightning, go first.
They're certainly sorting it out at the attack and the Lightning. What about the defence, Kira Tromp?
Yeah, Lightning, look, have been doing a really good job in the defence end of pushing the centre court players for the Giants. It's a great tip there from Tilly McDonald into the wing. So they're having to feed from that circle edge position, but not at the top. And I think Jo Harton is just leaving her timing on her run a little bit too late. So she just needs to get on the move a little bit earlier. And the attacking players from the Giants need to try and penetrate that middle channel.
Kira, I feel like you're close enough to whisper those sweet words.
What a start to this one.
Wing defence.
From the former Firebird. Wow.
Yeah, that was outstanding, wasn't it? Tara Hinchliffe, 29.5 missing net points, 1 deflection, 1 intercept. I feel like she's had 2 intercepts, but she's in absolutely everything. Look at that little bum tap from Kate Walsh. Absolutely loving what a partner in crime's putting out there.
And that propels the Lightning to a 3-goal lead, and for on the cusp of the Power 5 and HCF timeout. And we'll listen in, I think, on the Giants in this one and hear what Julie Fitzgerald has to say after conceding a little run of goals there.
Credit for having a crack at the ball. We're assuming that where we are is safe, all right? So we've got to read that defender and come really hard onto the ball. You're very deep. When it's come past the centre, you're very deep. Come back onto that ball if we need to and don't get too wide. And we really want to anticipate that what they're going to do in having a crack at that ball in everything we do, all right? One more pass maybe to keep it short down there. You're doing a really good job down here. You just that little step behind, so make sure you never get too. And if you see someone have a crack, let's make sure we cover the next one. All right?
Really good, love. Here we go. Here we go. Just step up a little bit. We're looking at someone else to come and do the work. Let's step up our own work rate. Yeah, all over, attack and defence. Then we're going to finish this last 5 minutes off.
Let's just take a breath as well as we're attacking. It's got 100 miles an hour. Let's just stop. Side.
2 points are in play, yeah, last 5. Right, here we go.
Got it all over it.
Giants on 3, 1, 2, 3, Giants.
We've seen work rate win games already this weekend. It was the Firebirds who took it away in the 3rd quarter against the Swifts yesterday, and purely by working extremely hard. And meanwhile, as we listen to Julie Fitzgerald and Jo Harton, Kira Tromp was listening into the Lightning huddle.
Yeah, thanks, Will. Kylie Sampson, the coach of the Lightning, went straight to her defenders. She was really happy, 5 gains. She really was impressed by her team being first to the loose ball, which is something that as a defensive unit you want to be there when there's a ball hits the ground. So really happy in the attack end as well. Just need more of the same.
There she is, amongst the coaching bench for the Lightning.
Oh, great take, Steph Wood on extension.
Difficult needle to thread there from Sherian to Bacheldor. As down come the Lightning, the Giants looking for 2 in a row. Big collision there, Hinchliffe and Hay. Harvey Norman replay as they hit the deck. The mop work, working overtime.
Well, there's not much in that one. You'll see it all day, every day for a game that's not a whole lot of contact. When you've got players moving at the pace they're moving at, there's always going to be collisions.
Outside.
Kira Tromp, prior to this match, we were talking about how Jamie Lee Price can lift those around her. How do you see, as she has the ball in hand now, her role so far in this?
Yeah, look at the the moment, Will, I'm noticing that Jamie Lee is getting a bit caught up in the argy-bargy with the other players around her. I'd love to see Jamie Lee just be calm and composed and take herself out of those situations when there's a contact involved, because she's so good with the ball, and when she's caught up talking with the umpire, it takes her away from her job.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Kira, because we spoke about it pre-match that the match up against Maddie Hinchliffe, they're similar body shapes, so they match up, they play the same game. So Jamie Lee Price is such a strong player. She's got great core strength, as we just see, great rebound there from April Branley. But all of a sudden, she's matched up against a centre that plays a similar game to her. They use their body, and it becomes frustrating because you're playing your own game, essentially, aren't you?
So after that timeout, it was 11 goals to 8. It's now 12-11, so a 4-goal run from the Giants, and they're looking for number 5 here. So bit of magic from Julie Fitz. Super shot time for Dwyer, and she hits it.
Well, she's just got such a beautiful high release on that shot and makes it look so effortless.
The first Suncorp super shot. And for every successful super shot today, well, Sophie Dwyer, she's put $100 in the pocket of the Confident Girls Foundation. Thank you to Suncorp for that, to help the foundation in their work in keeping girls in the game. And she does it again, back to back.
Well, you have to think that's her sweet spot at the top of the circle. She's not even looking to pass off anywhere else when she's received the ball there. What would you be doing as a defender? Maybe pushing her away from the top of the circle?
A 6-goal, 8-point run as the ball heads out for the Lightning, and this is becoming a real issue for the home team. Parmenter waits, looking to honour this turnover, and they don't.
Jo Hart just looking down court, 2 hands in the air saying, calm down everyone, take a breath.
Tara Hinchliffe leads all comers, 38 Nissan net points. The net points obviously wait, another intercept from the Giants. This time it's Price.
Well, that'll be Jamie Lee Price's easiest intercept ever. She was in the right place at the right time. She'll take it though. Tara Hinchliffe.
Well, Dwyer ran herself out of room there. Tried to get her back in.
You can tell Tara Hinchliffe is on a game. She's bouncing around. She's got her eyes up. She's talking to her defenders out the front. She's well and truly here to play today.
Harton just taking a little extra half a second there to make sure she didn't rush that shot. Left one short earlier in the quarter. Just calming herself down the way she comes. Others, and now it's her turn for a super shot. Looks good out of the hand. Does the job. 19-11 with 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Well, this is why the Giants are so dangerous in the super shot period. Look there, you can see the last 10 absolutely dominated by the blue and yellow, black and orange, I should say.
Is the dress white or is it green?
You are not one to comment on colour.
Okay. Maddie Hay sent a third down the Price. The clock beats them all. 19-13. What a run from the Giants. And now it is time to get things underway in the second quarter here in the first half of a doubleheader on Fox Netball, as Walsh takes the centre pass. Not cleanly, but does the job, gets the ball back. Transverse line. Nice drive forward from Batcheldor, providing the option. Wow. Brantley got a hold of a little bit of Batcheldor there.
Absolutely. And Sherry, and you could just see she was thinking, do I put it in to Batcheldor? Have a look at the replay here. Essentially a 2-on-1 if you like. That requires some real pinpoint feeding.
Joe Harton returns the favour. And things did get a little frantic at the back end of that quarter. And it's nice to have, if you're a Giants fan, at least Joe Harton out there calming it down as nearly McDonald comes up with it.
Well, Batcheldor doing a great job keeping the ball in court. could nearly sense the crowd just held their breath there. It hit Tilly McDonald's hands. Batcheldor somehow manages to keep it alive.
Yeah, a little bit of year 4 tunnel ball there through the legs. 5 goals.
Oh, Tara Hinchliffe nearly got hands to that one.
Next to the wing.
Cassidy did. Hay, front space.
Where you are, shooter. Goal defence beside and away, please. Thank you.
This is defensively where the Lightning can't just sit back and be reactive. They need to, as a defensive unit, maybe throw a different defensive set play. We spoke about boxes and zones yesterday a little bit. Maybe throw something out there just that's different to create an opportunity where they can turn a ball over rather than just one by one. They need to start looking at opportunities to win.
Fighting break. Goal defence. Set it down. Going early.
3-2 for the quarter, so it's going with possession in the early parts of this one. Harton drives out to the top of the circle.
Well, it's just the same thing every time, isn't it? Joe Harton just on that rotation. They're so patient with the ball in hand. They just wait for something to open up.
Outside.
Oh, Steph Wood called for a step. An absolute coach killer, particularly in this current situation.
Confident ball from Price to Harton, who doesn't want to shoot from there just yet. 3-3 now the quarter. 6 goals now. 7, yes, from Joe Harton. She picks up her 12 from 14 attempts. Sophie Dwyer on 7.
The sting has just been taken out of the Lightning. The crowd is quiet. There's no communication with the players out on court. They're being penalised, so the Giants are getting easy access, easy passes.
Penalty count piling up for both teams, 18-16. Kira, how are you seeing that play into this one?
Yeah, definitely the Giants shooting end has definitely got, at the moment, more penalties being called. So I feel like the Sunshine Coast Lightning need to adjust their game at this end of the court. They're being called out of play and they're not able to build that pressure as they were in the first quarter of the game.
And sometimes that's exactly what happens. There's a scoring end with the different umpires, and that's not necessarily saying that the umpires are wrong. It's just saying that the players need to recognise that and adapt to that and know that there is a scoring end and there's not a scoring end, and to be aware of it.
HCF tactical timeout, and why not? It's now blown out to 9 goals with the Giants 6-3 in this quarter. And we're going to listen in to how Kylie Byrne and her team are going to respond to that.
Let's, at the moment, let's get you coming out, connect outside the circle, and then let's just get you back in rather than just like, and if Steph's out the front and they've isolated back on you, I still think this little punch up the middle and come in, move them so that they, so that you can enter then. Because what's happening is they're collapsing on you by just standing. We're not moving them at all. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. But just go out really hard, a couple of steps, just so one comes off. It's really low, like I can't see here. Just put it up, please. Hey, we just go back to what we know that's covering the short. Okay, so we go and take, particularly if it's coming down fast, you go and take the first one, but circle edge and let's convert.
Let's go, guys. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on, girls.
9 goals, 10 minutes on the clock. Plenty of clear instruction coming from that Lightning timeout, and they need to arrest this slide that began in the last couple of minutes of quarter one and has continued in the opening minutes of the second quarter. Dwyer on transverse line. Harton is not being given an inch by Tara Hinchliffe. Kira, things obviously going well for the Giants. What did Julie Fitz have to say about that?
Yeah, really well for the Giants. Julie Fitzgerald really happy, but I think there's still room to work on. I believe she spoke with her defenders, just asking them for that 3-second effort. They're there for 2.5 seconds. It's just that last bit. So look for that turnover ball that they're chasing to build this lead into this halftime break, Will.
Thank you, Kira. As a more difficult shot there from the baseline and wide out from Wood, but we know how good she is from any kind of range.
Sophie Dwyer looking for that cross-court ball, which is dangerous. And that's what the defenders from the Lightning need to be aware of, that there's those opportunities. If they can shut down that first option, to have a look and have a crack for the intercept.
It's dangerous when you get a pinpoint like that twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Back and forth and into Harton.
And that's exactly what Kylie Byrne said to, in particular, Riley Batcheldor on screen. She said, I want some movement for you, from you. Come out of the circle. Give the defenders something to think about. Leave Steph in the circle on her own.
Good patience from Dwyer to eventually find Harton, as we are now at a 10-goal game. Sherian Batcheldor doing what she's told, coming out of the circle for the option. Oh, great work from April Brandley.
It's all too easy for the Giants at the moment, isn't it? And have a look at this. They're so safe with ball in hand. They take it down and convert these opportunities, and that's what's building the scoreboard pressure up, and that's why they're 10 goals out on the scoreboard.
A few super shots and 3 goals from turnovers, and the Lightning unable to score a goal from a turnover thus far. Lovely shot there, and on the replay, we see the work from Brandley, often an unsung hero of this team. Circle edge Price.
Contact goal defence on the ball. Goal defence inside and away. Contact goalkeeper. Burns goal.
Laura Sherian just on her own on that centre pass.
Batcheldor with her 12th from 13. Now it's the Giants who lead the way in this and net points, with Jamie Lee Price and Sophie Dwyer on 45-ish. Dwyer 44.5.
You can see that change in goalkeeper, Will. Katie Andahaney on the court for Tara Hinchliffe.
Something has to change. That was well short from Dwyer.
A little bit of confusion there amongst the players. Katie Andahaney thought, I'll let it roll out, and then decided to change. Oh, but down this end, Steph Wood has given away a contact outside the circle. So disappointing there from the Lightning.
She smiles, looks up at the big screen for the replay. All she sees is her smiling face looking back at her.
But this is, again, what we just spoke about, the opportunities that the Lightning are coming up with. They're not able to convert off of it. And Kate Walsh is getting frustrated because she is being pulled for absolutely everything at the moment. She's spending so much time out of play. So she needs to be able to adjust her game, pull it back.
Now 29 penalties from the Lightning to 19 from the Giants. And there are the shooting stats. You can see a pair of super shots each for Dwyer and Harton. And Harton taking a lot more of the shots than she did last week in terms of taking them from Dwyer. Dwyer actually had 38 shots last week to Harton's 36.
Yeah, and just in back play here, we can see Tara Hinchliffe has actually got the goal defence bib on. So I actually think that that's a change that potentially needs to happen, particularly in this last 5. This is a danger period for the Lightning.
Yes, the game could be won and lost in the next 5 minutes if indeed they can be allowed to take that middle channel, and super shots will follow. And we talked about a little bit of frustration at the defensive end as the Power 5 begins. And Kira, how are you seeing that from sideline?
Yeah, you can definitely feel that frustration level building as they're getting the calls against them that they weren't getting in the first quarter. Sometimes that isn't a level of maturity that's needed, as we see a great rebound there by Katie-Ann Dehaney. For me, the Sunshine Coast Lightning, they're working hard. They're just not working smart. They need to be smart in the way that they position themselves in front of the umpire and make a clean effort at that ball.
Third rebound for the Lightning. They need to turn it into some movement on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and it is. It's hard work for the Lightning, particularly down in this attack end. They don't necessarily have 2 leads happening at the moment. And when there is 1 lead happening, a Giants defender is absolutely all over them like a rash.
6 goals they've scored in this quarter, the Lightning, to the Giants 13.
Well, 13 goals is what they scored in that first quarter. So we're talking about super shot there, Riley Batcheldor, and a much-needed one.
Yeah, we saw her do it last week, and she's going to need to do just about the same now if the Lightning are going to draw anywhere near what the Giants have brought over the last 15 minutes. And now it's Wood in super shot territory, and this would be a real boost for them and the crowd. She nails it as well. Another Suncorp super shot, and suddenly 13 goals becomes 9.
And this is where Lightning need to get their defensive end up and about. They need to be humming. A turnover here, all of a sudden. Take it down, convert it. Yes, Tara Hinchliffe up in the air. Great work. Unfortunately, she gets called out of play, though.
You're holding. Adjust center.
Well, you can see there, the umpire is absolutely having nothing to do with the body contact down here. So Kira Nasso said before that the umpire is calling everything down this end.
Next time, just release the ball.
Lovely feed there from Riley Batcheldor. This time it's Wood down the baseline. And as much as a super shot or two can ignite a crowd, 1 or 2 at the other end can completely squash all the momentum. Or Joe Arden just going about her business. It's still 10 goals as the captain has the ball in hand. Short pass, Cassidy.
Pause, centre, far side, pause. Come round, that's it.
Top of circle and waiting, moving into super shot range is Batcheldor. Clever 1-2 to move it to the front of that. Very high up, too high.
Throwing Giants.
And short.
Well, that's exactly what the Lightning didn't need. Katie-Ann Dehaney is just giving a little bit of space off Jo Hart. She's playing off the body, which can sometimes be a really great starting position, but on a mover like Jo Harten's just exploiting that baseline on her.
Another Suncorp super shot. Swished it too, did Sophie Dwyer.
Running break, wing attack. Contact centre.
That's 3 from 3 for her. Now we're at 12 again, and how quickly it can change things.
And this is really good positioning of where the Lightning did have the Giants. They had them all over one side, and that's what they need to do. They need to be able to bottle them up, work together as a unit.
Sherry and driving forward, Wood circle edge. Hinchliffe now fumbles. Donald comes up with it. And the crowd do not like this one bit. Quickly to Cranley. Plenty of space. Opposite side of the court. Christ, multiple handles in that passage.
Well, the Giants are just playing such a controlled game of netball. Have a look there, the penalties, 38 to the Lightning, 22 to Giants. They're playing a clean game, a controlled game, and they're converting off all opportunities.
Contact. Just in the one. In the one.
You would have to suggest, after the last 2 rounds, the way they're playing today, what they put out against Fever last week, as we see, great defensive pressure from Dehaney over the shot. But this Giants outfit, capable of anything this season.
Yeah, how quickly things can change in Super Netball, and perhaps
Contact wing defence.
perhaps the win over the Swifts flattered. We talked about yesterday where the Swifts are at, we don't know, but now they're going to be anchored to the bottom of the table, and as again McDonald comes up with it, but maybe that last win flattered the
We'll have a look
Lightning
there.
a little bit. But certainly that win over the Fever is showing us the quality of the Giants outfit as they take a 13-goal lead into halftime with an 18-11 quarter. All right, 40 notched up, and as you can see, Annika Lee-Jones on for her, as we said, 14th game in Super Netball. It stretches back to 2017. And a little too long on that one.
Yeah, well, it just gives the Giants defenders, as Kylie Burns said, something else to think about. They've been playing on the moving goal circle for the last half, and now all of a sudden they've got a holding goaler in there.
Yeah, certainly something to think about. I say 13 games she's played, but it's not as if she hasn't been playing elite netball, because she's been over at Celtic Dragons for the last 12 months and played 19 games for them, and almost exclusively at the defensive end.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because we've seen Danelle Wallam come from that Super League as well and absolutely own Suncorp Super Netball. So whatever's happening over there on the other side of the world is obviously a fantastic competition and an awesome...
We'll find out in Birmingham, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
5-2, though, the Giants now up in this one. So, early minute or so. Jamie Lee Price just puts the shoulder on. Not the only change out there. Annie Miller is out there too for the Lightning.
Just a little bump there. Katie and Dehaney and Sophie Dwyer. We can have a look there at the mid-court. So we've got Annie Miller in wing attack, Laura Sherian in centre, and Mahalia Custody still stays in that wing defence position.
(44-26). Things are getting increasingly desperate now for the Sunshine Coast. 7-2 for the quarter.
And this is the pressure of Annika Lee-Jones coming on in that goal shooter position. She's got the pressure of having to sink them.
Tough ass coming on at this stage of a game in this situation, and meanwhile the interplay between the attacking end of the Giants just looks a lot simpler and more comfortable.
Well, we spoke about it pre-match, didn't we, that this is an opportunity for the Sunshine Coast Lightning to play in front of their home crowd. They love the home crowd advantage, and it is one of the loudest, most passionate crowds to be
Not today.
part of, but it's not today. I can hear ourselves think here. It's so quiet. There's no energy in here, and that's exactly what the Lightning feed off. So credit to the Giants. They've taken the sting out.
I haven't heard myself think, which is a bit of a worrying sign for me. If I start thinking, I'll let you know. 19 goals, though. Things are getting way out of hand. 9-3, make that 10-3. As Joe Harton drops 26 goals now from 28 attempts. Sherry and the veteran. Now to Wood. Towards the pocket, and Branley just... She saw that one coming.
There's a little bit of a clinic down here at the moment for the Giants, just picking up ball left, right and centre.
The Lightning have stuck with the same defensive trio as they did prior. Katie Andahaney stays on. Kira Tromp, what do you think about that?
Yeah, just something Geitzy touched on in the pre-match about you can't afford to double back on one shooter. And at the moment, the Lightning are trying to shut Joe Harton out of the game. And Tara Hinchcliffe is dropping back, doubling up, and it's leaving a goal attack and Sophie Dwyer free. And she's really taking control in that circle at the moment. So I'd love to see the Lightning just go back to a one-on-one defence, strong hands, and just make sure, here we go, there's a chance for them to use the ball well down court.
Put on the line from Dwyer. Miller now.
It just doesn't look like there's an easy pass for the Lightning at the moment. The Giants have got hands up over everything. They've got hands in everything when it comes to the one-on-one contest. And that's what they're doing so well, is that they are contesting everything. And the Lightning aren't contesting everything. They're sitting behind their players and just not generating anything at the moment.
Timing on the jump from McDonald as Wood looks to feed Jones. Wood again from distance. Not looking for Jones. Who's on 1-3. Taking a bit more of the shoot. Rolling into her hands and Cassidy.
Outstanding work from her. She could see the ball up in the air, just batted it down and regathered. That's exactly what they need to do, just peg it back.
Important goal this for Lee Jones. He gets it. Great agility, great timing from Mahalia Cassidy. The HCF tactical timeout at an 18-goal deficit. So it was 18-11 to the Giants in the second quarter. It's now 11-6 as they continue to pile on the pain, and we'll listen in to Julie Fitzgerald and the Giants.
Playing really, really well, all right? And you're still well in control, so just have a little breather now and take a breath, all right? A couple of times down here, I think there's been way too much room, all right? We've got to be concentrate on closing up that space, all right? April, you're getting great tips. Now we can turn some of those, I reckon. And you've got to remember, so you've got to show it but you've got to be on the tee so she's inclined to go away from the post and not. From here,
I think we're trying to go stretch too far down and got the ball
right? But you've got to wait till the ball's in the air, and then you can come off the challenge. But until then, you've got to be on a bit of a tee push.
Yeah,
right?
A bit like that second last one.
Yeah, that's much, much better. Really good job,
All right,
girls.
here we go.
Really good job. Couple of times we've been on that angle behind. Let's make sure we do the work to get front, all right?
That was a really good push for 7.5 minutes, I think. So that's our little baseline now. We're going to go up again for this next little bit. Here we go. Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3, Giants. Let's go.
So as soon as the Lightning get on a 3-goal run, the Giants stop, they reset, and they look to re-up again the intensity and make sure they don't allow the home side to get any part of a sniff in this contest.
Well, they've done the hard work in that first half. They've set themselves up perfectly in the second half. You could hear Julie Fitzgerald say then, you're in control. Just keep plugging away at the game plan. Stick to it.
So, wow, as Maddie Hay goes up. Annika Lee Jones back off. Riley Bashador having had a breather on again. And see if that pays dividends. Kira, what was the message from Kylie Byrne?
Yeah, Kylie wanted her team to make sure that they were in the contest. Now, they've been scared a bit off by the umpire calling them, and she felt they were 1 to 2 steps off every contest. Exactly what Geitzy said in commentary before the break. They're just not having a go at that ball. So the coach asked them to have a crack and forget the umpires and just play netball.
Well, it will be interesting to see here down this end, Lightning shooting end, what happens with the penalties. This is where we saw Lightning defenders get crucified. So does it follow suit with Giants defenders? That's all you can ask for from an umpire, is that they remain consistent with their calls. You could hear Kylie Byrne's frustrations when we spoke to her just after half-time, that she felt like they were just constantly being pulled. So the umpire needs to make sure that she remains true to what she's called for the beginning of the game.
Parmenter. Riley Batcheldor really holding up the missing net points for the attack end. There's a lovely feed in from Batcheldor to Wood. Wood was on -6 missing net points and bench now. Annika Lee-Jones was out there enough time to be on -13. Whereas Joe
Oh, that's unfortunate for the Lightning. Laura Sherian did a great job trying to chase down the crumbs. But unfortunately, the Lightning just not able to pull that one in time.
Harton all alone in the back space. And now we're into the power 5. So let's see if Riley Batcheldor can continue her heroics. She's not going to be able to do it without the ball as Miller gives it up. There is the Nissa net points, and, well, there's not a Lightning player to be seen.
April Branley, she's had a hand in everything. You could also hear Julie Fitzgerald say to her, amazing work on the tips and touches. Now it's time to convert those tips and touches into clean intercepts. She's not asking for much, is she?
Great work, but I totally dismissed that work and demand more work. That's a good coach. That's what a good coach does. Demands the best from the players, and no doubt we'll see some of that in the second half. Miller, deep in the pocket, lovely interplay to Batcheldor in the white stripe, and the super shot comes.
Yeah, smart play here from Laura Sherry, and she could see that Tilly McDonald was coming out for a hunt, knew that there was Riley Batcheldor at home alone under the post, so it's just a little tap down, wasn't it?
Add that to the highlight reel for pivot. Hey, Harton now in the range for the super shot, and it's Dwyer who'll take it. Looks good out of the hands. And they return fire, and we're back to a 20-goal game.
Well, Jerry Harton is still applauding herself as the centre pass is gone. Lightning spoil another one.
As Geitz recovers the ball slowly and passes it back to Parmenter.
That was disappointing,
One
wasn't
possession
it?
for Geitz. Called for the 3 second.
Not as flexible as I used to be.
Dwyer. Harton could take the super shot. Dwyer will.
Well, Sophie Dwyer.
Well.
Yeah, dangerous. Dangerous is all I can say. Have a look at this. It just looks like the Giants are running through a training drill at the moment. You can see there their sweet spots when it comes.
Will this be 6? Hard to bet against it. Oh, this is painful for the Lightning.
It's painful to watch, isn't it? Because it's just...
Quite like it in a masochistic sense. It's difficult, though. Difficult for the Lightning fan again. Sherian quickly. A chance for Wood to try and return fire. Leaves it short.
Just nothing sinking.
No. All the contact against Wood. Oh, Parmenter hits the deck hard.
Wing attack contact. On my whistle.
She's not all that happy about that one either. She's a tough little cookie, so when she takes a while to get up, you know she's had a fair knock.
They're just smiling on the way in now. A grin from Price as she saw so much room, and that was Parmenter who was kissing the pine there for a second. On the Harvey Norman replay, Miller doing her best, doesn't get the timing right on that one. There is Parmenter with the ball now, crossing to the attacking third and quickly letting it go for Harton for the super shot. And everything is sinking for the Giants. Another one. 62-35, and if they keep up this scoring rate, they might jump the percentage into third position on the ladder. We said that was almost impossible.
We did. We spoke about it.
What a shot though from Riley Batcheldor. Super shots just raining here at USC Stadium. It's possible though at 62-37 that the percentage can be boosted enough at the end of the round to leave the Giants in third. Wood fires it down to the 19-year-old. Again, quick back and forth with Sherian, who's keen to dish it immediately.
Well, I
Too many passes, just shoot the super shot.
That's exactly right. What did you just call it, sorry?
I said shoot the super shot.
I thought you called it the duper shot there for a second.
Well, this is super duper shot when Riley Batcheldor puts it halfway to the roof.
Oh dear. I am loving what I'm seeing from Matilda McDonald.
We'll bring it up halfway. Just there, out of play, and that's a caution.
Yeah, she's playing a role in this one as 2 seconds to go. Will we get a shot away? We will not get a successful one. 63-38, a 26-14 quarter. Right, we carry on, 15 minutes to go. The Giants looking to potentially even move up into third on the ladder. That means skipping the Firebirds, who had a big win yesterday against the Swifts. And the Lightning looking for some way back into this contest. First step taken, first small step, Riley Batcheldor.
Just to go back to that little interaction between Wood and Harton, who knows what was said, but clearly there was a little bit of tension in the air. Two captains of these clubs, it's sometimes good, but it's sometimes bad for the rest of the players to see the captain, the leader of the team, feeling frustrated. So it's interesting just to see how the other players will respond to that little interaction.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a very good point. I guess if you're the team who's leading by 25, you don't mind the banner coming from your captain in response to something. But if you're down by that far and you want your captain to be ice cold and ready to find a way back.
Well, if your captain's feeling frustrated and is happy to show that frustration, then particularly when she's got players like Riley Batcheldor, young players, then they sort of go, oh gosh, like what's happening out here?
We really are rudderless then, you know. Anyway, Hinchliffe comes up with the rebound, and on we go. The Lightning with another little minor win on their way back into this contest. Still a long way from home. Lovely lofted feed into Batcheldor. She gets another one. It's one for the crowd. 19 of 22 now for Batcheldor, who cracks through 40 innocent net points with that. Steph Wood still on -5, so she's not having the best day.
We've seen those two players switch roles. Batcheldor out into the goal attack and Steph Wood back into shooter.
Branley, who leads all comers with 81.5 innocent net points right now. As down the outside channel to Price goes Hay. There are the innocent net points, and there's 5 players out on court with more than 60. For the Giants, such has been the ease in which they have been marching down court, especially in the third quarter. As they take the centre pass received through Dwyer and Hay, switch to Harton on the drive out from the circle.
Well, everyone's just been outstanding in the orange today. Kate Walsh again, timing. It's not only about the timing, but also the elevation. She just does it so well. Every single Giants player has done their role out on court to the very best ability. It's been a comprehensive team effort. You can see there all Giants players topping the charts. But just outstanding work from each and every one of them out on court.
I love seeing players shoot from super shot range when it's not super shot time.
It's like they're just warming up for the super shot.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I remember when it was brought in and the thought was that they'd be more confident to shoot from that distance, and now they are.
Yeah. Which is amazing.
Well, Steph Wood is. Always has been.
Have a look there, time in possession. Giants dominating at 56%.
Sherian. Bachelor into play between the youngest and oldest out on court, and Wood finishes it off.
Well, that's Lightning of old, isn't it? That beautiful, crisp, speedy ball movement that just gets the defenders caught out of play, gets their eyes down.
Step forward, go defense. Go defense, step around.
Here you go, Sophie Dwyer just lining up the super shot again. She's going to decide to pass off, though.
It's quiet in here, but it's not as quiet enough for her to hear you say that. 25 goals still. 5-5 in the quarter. Big pass to Sherian, and McDonald a little too overexcited.
Kira Trump asked Tilly McDonald about her facial expressions, and it's something that obviously is drawing a bit of attention, but I just love that she looks like she loves being out there. And that's all you want. That's all you want as a player. And as a youngster watching these players, just to see someone, Kate Walsh down, a little bit of a stinger, whether it was her ankle, but a little bit ginger.
Yeah, she's calling for the interchange. She can't walk on that ankle yet. So immediately called for it, and Dehaney's going to step up to the plate as the Lightning find their way down. Nice feed from Sherry into Bachelor. And still on that ankle, so maybe we'll get...
Ouch.
Oh, see if we can get Kira Tromp over to the bench in a second and get an update on how bad that is. But Walsh is off the court.
Well, they're
going to get some treatment.
Stingers, those ones you could just see in that Harvey Norman replay. She just rolls that right ankle. Kate Walsh off, Katie and Dehaney comes onto the court. April Branley just laughing at herself, going, gave it a crack. Didn't work out for me, but anyway, not to worry.
No, we were questioning Harley Byrne getting a player who can play attack and defence. We already got 4 defenders, now we have 3 for the Lightning, so maybe it wasn't silly. And down also is Cassidy, and she's not getting up.
And this is something you do not want to see from a player.
No, she's okay.
Can we wait before?
All right, she's in pain, Mahalia Cassidy, and there is no one saying a word out here.
You okay, centre?
Well, Mahalia Cassidy, talk about tough cookie. She definitely fits that category. It's a horrible thing to say, but the first moment, the first thing that comes into your mind when somebody goes down like that is, oh my goodness, please tell me it's not a knee.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Knee.
Mahalia Cassidy's been there before. She's done an ACL, so we can all...
Sigh of relief time. Here is the replay, and I think it was a hit in the head?
Absolutely.
From Price, an accidental?
Well, it didn't look like there was much in it.
We were talking about Tilly McDonald before everyone started hitting the deck, and Kira Tromp, you have a thought on that?
Yeah, just down courtside here, Tilly McDonald to me seems to be a player like she is a sponge for information. After every contest, she looks across to the bench for feedback. She's constantly adjusting her position. She's got massive red marks right down her neck, so she's obviously been in a scrag down there under the post, but she is always in and under and in the face of her attacking players. She doesn't take a backward step.
Yeah, exactly what I've seen from her today too, Kira. She just relishes the physicality. It's what all good goalkeepers love. That's their job, obviously, to stay within the game and the rules, but your job is to intimidate, to turn ball over, to be scary. That's what she is. She's going for absolutely everything. You've got to love her energy down there.
So the Lightning have had the best of this quarter, but nowhere near what they need. They're 11-7 up at this point. There is the score breakdown. The damage really done in the middle 2 quarters of this game. Bachelor leaves it short, and the Giants are fighting over it. Who wants the rebound stat? Price. Branley, Price again. Cassidy looks okay now. Lightning player, I thought. No.
Oh, Sophie Dwyer.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, what a finish.
My goodness.
That just sums up the game for the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Absolutely, it does. There's no love lost between Jamie Lee Price and Mahalia Cassidy. You mentioned before, maybe that was a knock to the head. Well, I wouldn't say they're the friendliest of opponents to one another at present.
Might get another replay of it a little bit later and see if there was contact there. Cassidy now, ball in hand. Sherian forced into a little fumble from Parmenter.
Well, have a look at this defensive pressure from the Giants. They're just shutting down everything, and that's exactly what's happening. They're forcing the turnover. They are defending for the 3 seconds, and Lightning just have no answers to it. And when they do, they're either off balance or their feeds are just off the mark. So Giants gains, what are we talking?
Dehaney, who nearly comes up with one. She could have had that one, but couldn't draw it in. Gains 16 to 11. You can see there.
1 intercept to the Lightning, 6 to the Giants.
Feels like more than that. And there is the intercept call.
Well, there's a good little gain.
Batcheldor, and out comes McDonald, and she hits the much smaller frame of Laura Sherian. Immediately went back to help her up. Play a game at a pace like this, these things are going to happen. And from super shot range again, just about Wood. We see on the Harvey Norman replay again. Looks like she maybe hit the. That's the McDonald and Sherian collision. Price restarts. 22 goals it is still.
Well, here comes the whistle for the Lightning. Mahalia Cassidy's been called out of play, and it's just on repeat.
Next to the goal defense.
Power 5, so look for all super shots now from Riley Batcheldor. We'll have a look at the head knock again. The two of them in the middle of your screen. It's hard to see what happened there.
Look, I don't think there was a whole lot in that, to be completely honest.
Riley's contact centre.
Just the way she went down, it looked like she'd been
Significantly hurt.
Yeah. And there is the first super shot of the period as Annie Miller comes out onto court.
Well, Mahalia Cassidy doesn't have face just say it all. She's so frustrated for a player that's normally pretty level-headed. Have a look at that. Kylie Byrne knows she's gone directly and sat beside her. It's been a tough day at the office for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. You don't often see that. But Riley Batcheldor doing all she can to lift the spirits.
Dwyer 6 from 6 super shots. Harton 3 from 5, Wood 3 from 5, Batcheldor 4 from 6. There's some good percentages across the board from range from both teams.
Step over this side. Your arms out, goal defense. Yeah, where you are. Go! Lightning!
Well, the Lightning
Break, goal defense!
doing better in attack, and they've actually outscored themselves already in this quarter from any other quarter. They're on 16, but they are not turning over enough ball in defence.
Well, it makes you think, should this combination of Batcheldor out at goal attack, Steph Wood back, maybe should have been tried a little earlier. They just seem to have nicer flow with Steph Wood back in that goal shooter position.
Dwyer on 100%, remains on 100%. 7 from 7 now for Dwyer.
Well, I mean, that is just...
Yeah, she's holding her head.
Where you are, wing defense.
Getting some attention there, Mahalia Cassidy.
In that replay, there was like nothing to be seen, but clearly something has gone down there because, as I said, Mahalia Cassidy does not opt to go to the bench if she really doesn't have to. Katie Dehaney comes up with the rebound. You would hate to see Mahalia Cassidy ruled out with a concussion for next week.
The Lightning are back at home next week against the Thunderbirds. You'd almost say that Thunderbirds, you want to come up against the Thunderbirds. It's not good to come up against any team at the moment, but they're not playing as free-flowing netball as they could be. As Dwyer goes through 8 from 8.
Sophie Dwyer.
A hot hand.
Honestly, as a defender, you need to be able to adjust and do something, whether you take that super shot territory away from her or try something different.
Commentator's nightmare.
Absolutely. I'm just going to start calling it a squared, I think.
79 plays 54, and could we see a record? 82 is the current mark, scored also against the Lightning twice in round 1 and round 2, and time could beat the Giants to break that record unless they just continue to give it to Sophie Dwyer at range, and this time...
Well, Matisse Leatherbury comes on the court in place of Joe Harton.
Matisse, drop one. Here we go.
Have a look at that. She lines it up.
Oh! Nothing but net that one either, and they're at 81 with the centre pass. So 82 is the all-time Super Netball scoring record, and they are going to hit it again. Now, 80 it is. That didn't count, that super shot.
Well, here you go. The Giants have got plenty of time
81
on the clock.
Right.
Centre third.
Oh, do they go for the super shot? They keep it alive.
No, they turn it over. 5 seconds to go.
On my whistle. Keep it,
81, 54. That's the whistle, and in the end, well, big smiles from Jo Harton, and why not? She captained her side to a gigantic victory here at USC Stadium. Pun there, the Giants, because they're the Giants. And it was a difficult day at the office for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. The Giants now sitting pretty on 3 from 3 and taking all sorts of momentum into the Sydney Derby.